We just got ourselves the new Teradek Bolt 6.
So it's not the most glamorous piece of equipment that you could think of buying when you think about video equipment, but it is an important one that we needed eventually for some of the shoots that we do. Today we're going to be doing a test on just how far you can transmit video with the Teradek Bolt 6. This Teradek Bolt 6 allows you to utilize the 6 gigahertz frequency, which a lot of stuff doesn't use, and so that means at least according to Teradek, that you get better reliability as far as like your connection goes.
Especially in an environment where there's a lot of signal interference happening in your shoot.
Now we could have went with a lot of other options that were more budget friendly, but Teradek is pretty much the industry standard when it comes to wireless transmission. And the reason for that is because it has zero latency. You can still get some latency through what you're connecting it through, whether that's from the monitor or from other stuff. But at least you know with the Teradek, that's not gonna be bottlenecking your latency. So it's perfect for pulling focus, and it's also perfect to use with a client monitor, so we're not having to hardwire with an SDI cable or HDMI cable. So we decided to buy this piece of kit mainly as a value add-on to what we already own, and that way we don't have to mess around with going to a rental house to get this. We already have it as a part of our kit, and hopefully that'll make it easier to work with us.
Now, did we need this? No, but it was on sale for over $1,000 off, so we had to get it. For the most part, we pretty much have a full kit for any video production needs or film production needs on a smaller scale. You need a crew to help you out, film whatever you need to film, then go ahead and contact us at our email.
The cool thing about this sale was that this was actually for the Teradek Bolt 6 that includes the flexible antennas, or you could go with the option with the internal antennas. We went with the flexible ones just to make sure that we had a robust signal at all times. It is nice to have that internal antenna so that you don't have to worry about it getting in the way of your rig, but we've used this we've used the old antennas before and they never really got in the way, so we thought this would be perfect.
Another thing to note is I thought they were going to be like kind of springy and like you could move them around, but they're pretty stiff. So whatever position you set them in, they're going to stay there. When it came in the mail, it just came in the box, the packaging for the unit. And so instead of buying the $350 case off of B&H, I just looked at Harbor Freight on their website for one of their Apache cases. And for this, I got the Apache 3800, which I felt like was the perfect size. The way we have our kit is that the antennas are just gonna stay on there all the time, and there's more than enough space for these Teradeks to lay in there with the antennas. I have the receiver right here, transmitter in this slot. Then I have the HDMI and SDI cables on this slot, along with the little like adapters that you would use to attach your Teradek to stands. And then on this slot, I have the power cables and the AC power cable. And then I have the USB-C cable that it comes with for updating your firmware. One thing to note though with this kit is that you don't get two DTAP to LEMO connectors. You actually have to order another one. So I just got a $41 one off of Amazon from Alvin Cables, and I think this will do the job just fine. I've used it on other Teradeks before. It worked just fine.
So now we're just going to do a quick test of the transmission capability. This is technically rated for 750 feet, so we're going to see about just how far we can get without losing signal.
And this test is in no way, shape, or form like scientific. We were just bored. We wanted to make a video on this new piece of equipment and see how it would perform, I guess, kind of in the real world, you know, until we use it on set. So all you do, mount it right here. The main downside though to this is that if you're doing some handheld stuff and you're holding onto this handle, then this kind of gets in the way. It's not too bad, but it gets hot, so it can be a little bit uncomfortable, but I like it where it's at so far. Let's go ahead and get this LEMO in there first. I might need to get a 90-degree LEMO connector. All right, there we go. Now we'll connect the SDI cable. So you definitely want to have her in. Something I didn't show is that we practice last in, first out, or first in, last out, whichever one it is. Basically what you do is you put the battery on the camera and power it on first before you connect your SDI cables. And then when you are powering down, you do the opposite of that. So you take your SDI cables out and then you power down your camera. We do it just in case, you know, we're just using 3G SDI cables, but Ari and Rad have put out documentation just noting that trying to do those steps to prevent frying out your SDI ports or your HDMI ports. So same thing here, you just connect your LEMO right into the LEMO connector right here. You just match up the red dots. It's really easy. Normally I would cable manage this somehow, but I'm just gonna get it on there. And then you plug in your DTAP. Then you're gonna grab your SDI, plug it into the SDI output that it has. And one thing to note is that these Teradeks do cross convert, which is really nice. So let's say you're using an FX3 that utilizes you know, it only has HDMI output. Well, you can take that output from your FX3 and go into the Teradek transmitter, which has HDMI input. And then if you have a monitor that uses an SDI output, well, you can output from the SDI of the receiver and then go into the SDI port of your monitor, whatever you're viewing from, and it will do the conversion, do whatever it does, and you'll be able to see your image off the FX3. So we've connected this, actually first in, last out, technically. So let's power on the transmitter. We'll power on the monitor.
If you'd like Solomon to do a video on this follow focus setup, then let us know.
Yeah, I don't think I've done a video on my follow focus setup.
With this setup, he can basically just loosen this screw right here, and then he can become mobile with this whole setup, which is pretty nice.
Yep. It's a little bit weighty, so I don't often handheld it like this unless I really have to. Usually it's just easy to have everything in one setup and then you can literally just connect down to a stand. So now we are beginning the test. So as you can see, we've got this really long parking lot. I don't know how many feet it is, but it must be I think it's more than 750 feet. And there's the van. Hopefully it's not too shaky. I'm holding one tripod in one hand and the camera in the other.
Yeah, we didn't really measure out the distance, I guess. I think we have a long yard tape, but I don't think it would have gone 750 feet, but it's a pretty good way.
If I had to guess, the Tilta Nucleus M is gonna cut off first before the Teradek. If I had to guess.
I will say it is pretty fun to be able to pull focus when the camera is that far away, and you can control what the camera is looking at, which is pretty cool. So he's just about reached the van that's all the way, that last building over there. Which is honestly pretty crazy.
This has to be is it actually still getting signal? That would be insane. Oh, he's waving his arm. Okay.
So it looks like it's starting to cut off just about there. So right where the van is. So I'm just signaling him to come back.
He's telling me, I think, to walk closer. Okay, so he wants me to keep going.
Come a little closer.
And I guess until it gets signal.
There we go. And now it's back.
I can't even see him. He's putting his thumbs up. I think that's a thumbs up.
So now we're gonna have Solomon move in front of the camera just to test my ability to be able to keep focus on him. You can go in front of the camera now.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you'll be able to pull focus.
Why?
Move it around. Oh, what? Wow, you can actually, Wow, I'm surprised. It is working. All right. All right, I'm gonna walk. You got it?
Yep, go ahead.
So we are testing out the follow focus now. Surprisingly, from this far away, it actually is still holding up a signal along with the Teradek. And my brother is doing just fine pulling from this far. Of course, are we gonna find ourselves pulling focus from this distance all the time? Probably not. I mean, in most of the productions we do, it's in a pretty enclosed space. We're usually in the studio or we're in a house or some kind of peer space rental. It looks like we're right at the limit of the Teradek. My brother is telling me that as I was backing up, the Teradek cut off. So, you know, I mean, this is pretty much what they advertised. I mean, it looks like it's about 750 feet. I'm not even sure where I am in focus, but I'm gonna walk around and I'll bring the camera closer. Ugh. Tell me when you get signal.
It could also be because we didn't update the firmware when we,
Shit, you're right, yeah.
Yep.
How close can you get? I'm gonna run at it.
Oh, that's actually really decent. There we go. Nice. I don't usually first AC, so. And I think this is on an 85, right?
This is on 28.
Oh.
That pretty much wraps up our quick test. I've concluded that the Teradek Bolt 6 works just as advertised and what I would normally expect from their products. 700 feet line of sight connection is more than enough for our needs, and I'm sure in peak conditions you could get a connection at 750 feet. Again, that is with an unobstructed view and maintaining a line of sight with the receiver and transmitter. For most of us, there will be many more trees, walls, vehicles, and people in the way, which will limit how far you can walk away from the receiver. As expensive as this product is, I know that it will serve our productions for many years to come, and hopefully will be a great investment. If you guys have any questions or enjoyed the video, please feel free to comment down below, leave a like, and subscribe for new upcoming content. And as always, we will see you on the next one.